Hello, Photo 51ers. Today we are talking about keywording and rating photographs. This is the first thing that you do in Lightroom after you import your pictures is to organize your images in the library module. The library module is built for organization. This is not the funnest thing to do in Lightroom. The most fun thing to do, and most people like to skip over to the develop module, but the organization of your images by keywords and by flagging and rating and editing has to be done first. And it's the number one thing that you do so that you can find your pictures again. Lightroom has a very strong database built into it, and it allows you, through the library filter, to search for pictures by any searchable text field. You can search by file name or by metadata. We've talked a little bit about metadata. There are two types of metadata, and this is on the midterm, in Lightroom: IPTC metadata and EXIF or EXIF metadata. EXIF metadata over here is what the camera or device generates and pulls in to Lightroom from your device. So resolution, date and time. It's a good idea to check your camera to make sure that the date and time is accurate. Mine was stuck on 2001 for a while. You also, your exposure information, the length of your lens, the GPS coordinates if you have that capability on your camera. All of that kind of data or metadata is called EXIF. IPTC metadata is data that the user inputs. So we built a preset when we imported our images into Lightroom that had IPTC metadata, including our email address, our name, and our copyright information. You can see there's a lot of user-generated info that can go into this area if you choose. You don't have to enter in everything, but it depends on the type of photo business that you have. Some doctors' offices have special categories here for particular pieces of information that they want to be able to search. So that is IPTC generated information. IPTC information also includes keywords and keywording. So I have some keywords already on some of the samples images that I gave you so that we could see what they look like. Keywords include the basic reporting style: who, what, when, and where. Who, what, when, and where. You can use proper nouns like San Francisco, California. You can use people's names. They should be capitalized, the proper nouns. You can use descriptive terms also, such as blue or motion or moody. You really need to kind of think about what would make sense for your database. For stock image databases, if you're contributing to a stock agency like Getty Images, Flickr now Getty Images is now a part of Flickr. We saw in our Flickr preferences that if you want, anybody doing a Getty Images search can reach into your Flickr site, because Flickr can pull the metadata from your images and migrate it into Flickr from Lightroom. So if we do a search here for Golden Gate Bridge, we can see that the search terminology brings up many, many different pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm going to click on this one, and we see that these are all the keywords associated with this image: people, love, togetherness, horizontal, waist up, outdoors, the ages of the models, side view, loving. This is a little overwhelming in terms of how many keywords are here, but these people are trying to sell their images to creative directors or people that are looking for, maybe they're doing a pharmaceutical ad and they type in the word, loving couple, and they just want to see what pops up. So you want to think about keywords in terms of what makes sense for your database. You know, if you're a wedding photographer, you might just choose to use the name of the couple and the location and the date as your metadata. And the date, remember, is already built in as EXIF information. So I want to show you how powerful this library filter is based on the user-generated or IPTC content and the EXIF information over here. Right now I can search any searchable field, which includes any of these EXIF or IPTC fields, and bring up the word red. Oh, maybe not. Red car. Okay, maybe not. How about California? So I have all of these images, 15, with the keyword California or the word California somewhere associated with it. I can also search by attribute. An attribute has to do with your rating system. We're going to talk about that. There are 3 ways to rate images. By flags, either yes, I like it and I want to keep it, no, I want to reject it, or I want to delete it. Then there's a star system, 1 through 5, 1 being your least favorite, 5 being your most favorite. Personally, I only use 3 stars. I think that's enough. So I'll use 3, I like it, 2 maybe, 1 maybe. And if it doesn't have a rating, it means that I want to get rid of it. Then there's the color coding category, and the color coding category is helpful for, you know, indicating which images maybe you want to work on in Photoshop later, or which images you're going to send into a contest. You can also have a friend sit down and color code using a particular color their favorite images, or a client. So think of these as like ways to kind of separate images out from one another into piles. They're handy. So I can do a search for everything with the word California in it that has a greater than 1 star rating, and you see that I don't have anything. I can turn off the text attribute as searchable, and I can do a search for anything that is greater than or equal to a 1 star, a 2 star rating. Nothing. I haven't given any stars to anything yet, it looks like. Let's see, I'll rate this one a 5 star, this one a 3 star, this one a 2 star. Now if I go up here and do a search by anything greater than 2 stars, you can see that it shows me only the things that have stars attached. I can add a text attribute. So if I want to include the word California and stars, it'll show me everything with the word California associated with it, plus anything greater than 2 stars. I'm going to turn both of these off. I can also do a search, and this gets crazy, you guys. I mean, I can also add a search by EXIF data. So I can search according to when I took the picture, what month and what year. I can search according to the different cameras that I used. I can search according to the different lenses that I used. And if you click here, you can get really, really specific. I can search according to shutter speed. So if I want to see all the images that were, you know, 400ths of a second, I can list those. It's very, very powerful and very specific. These are all of the ways that I can search. Okay? And you can combine these to really, really narrow it down. I'm going to choose none right now so that I can see all of the pictures in my library. Alright? So what we're going to start off doing first is keywording. I want you to choose to keyword 20 of your images, and I want you to apply at least 10 keywords to each image. And then I'm going to have you create what's called a keyword set. And after we do the keywording, then we're going to do rating. So to do keywording, there's many ways you can do it, but I like to select the image first. And then over here in the metadata, find your keywords, keyword panel. It's going to be right here. There's a regular keyword panel and then a keyword list. Keyword panel. And I'm going to think about, okay, 10 different words for this picture. Who, what, when, and where, plus any descriptive adjectives or nouns. So I'm going to say white boat, cruise ship, California, because I'm going to pretend like it's in California. Now notice that I'm separating the keywords by a comma. What else could we put? Vacation, commercial, vacation, Titanic. No, just kidding. That's a good one though. Dinghy. I don't even know if I'm spelling dinghy right. Summer. Summertime. And you see that this is smart. So anything that I've entered in the past, it'll queue up for me to try and save me time. So I'm going to stop right there. And then you're going to move on to the next one. Okay? And you're going to do 10 of these. Now, what's interesting is that Lightroom keeps track of the keywords that you've already entered in. So if I wanted to add this keyword, I could click here and it would add it to the list of the keywords I already have. The other thing that's handy is that I can make what's called a keyword set. So if you take the same kinds of pictures over and over and over again, it's helpful to have a set of keywords that are saved. Lightroom comes stock with one called outdoor photography, which has all of these keywords in it. And you can see that summer is illuminated because I've added summer up here. Portrait photography comes stock. Wedding photography comes stock. But if I want to make my own, it's a little confusing, but I'm going to choose Edit Set, and I'm going to type in summer, and I'm going to hit the tab button, vacation, and I'm going to hit the tab button, blue sky, tab button, cruise, family, this will be color, horizontal. Okay, I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to choose Save as a new preset, and I'm going to name it Vacation or Summer Vacation. So if you end up using the same keywords over and over and over again, you can save them as a keyword set in the drop down right here. And now you see I have a keyword set called Summer Vacation. So you can add keywords manually. Then if you see that there's another picture in the group that shares all of those same keywords, let's pretend this one does, I can command click on it, or let's pretend this one does, I can command click on it and I can choose sync the metadata. And it'll say, what kind of metadata do you want to sync? Like, you're going to copy some metadata from here to here. What metadata do you want? Because there's a lot. So I definitely want all of my copyright info, and I'm going to also migrate my keywords over too, and I'm going to say synchronize. So that's like a quick way of syncing all the metadata from one image to another. You can also copy and paste. The keyword list shows you a list of all of your different keywords that you have in your database, in your Lightroom catalog, and how many pictures fall underneath that keyword. And see, when I roll over it here, it illuminates, and when I click, it shows me which images fall under that keyword. That's pretty awesome, huh? So I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to let you take some time to enter in some keywords as part 1 of the keywording lab. Okay?